Hi there. Tonight I'm going to make a delicious stew, delicious and nutritious. The recipe comes from a website called Healthy Holistic Living, and it's called Cauliflower, Coconut Oil, Ginger, and Turmeric Stew, and it really is delicious. So, what's in it? You got coconut milk, unsweetened coconut milk. You can get this either from an Asian market or probably in Sprouts also. We've also got cumin seeds. So in this recipe, you're going to need both cumin seeds, there it is, cumin seeds, the whole seed, and you're going to need some ground cumin. It's a delicious spice. So there's that. And then what else? We're going to need an onion, a medium-sized onion, and 3 ripe tomatoes, which I have here on the vine. Doesn't have to be on the vine, but I like them that way. We're going to need a medium cauliflower head. There's a cauliflower head, the whole thing, and a jalapeno, fresh. And we're going to need some kale. Here's my kale. And we're going to need, the recipe calls for ginger paste. I don't have ginger paste. I've never even seen it. I'm going to use fresh ginger. That'll be at least as good. Let's see, what else? I guess I said coconut oil. Did I say coconut oil? I don't remember saying it, but there it is. What else do we need? We need kale, ginger, cumin powder. Oh, we're also going to need some coriander powder, which is, you might or you might not know, this coriander is the seed of cilantro. It's the seed of cilantro. We're going to need some cilantro too. We're going to need some sea salt. And I'm going to have to grind mine because that's how I have it. And I did the coconut milk. I think that's everything. Okay, so let's get started. I think I forgot one. Turmeric. Gotta have turmeric. It's in the name of the stew. So I'm going to start off by preparing the ingredients. There are quite a number of vegetables in this dish, and they're going to have to be chopped or grated or pulled apart or that kind of thing. So let's start off by chopping some onions. Well, actually chopping one onion. That's what I need, is one onion finely chopped. Could do this in the food processor, but I'll do it by hand. There must be a trick for easily removing the skins of onions, but I don't know it, so. Okay, so I'll do this and come back. All right, I got it off. So I'm gonna cut it in half. I'm supposed to finely chop it, so I'm just gonna make smaller slices. Maybe an 1/8 of an inch wide. Certainly no thicker than a 1/4 inch. I don't know why this matters. Then, that way, same. Keep it small. Be careful when you start cutting, when the onion is going this way. It could easily slip if your knife's not sharp enough and cut you. So make sure you get in there, and then just Just do something like that. Okay. So I'll cut the other one and come back. Okay, I've cut my onion, but I wanted to give you a little tip. You know how onions make you cry? It's those fumes. So when you're cutting an onion, ooh, got a little bit in my eyes now. You want to not breathe out of your nose. So breathe out of your mouth, but especially blow, just blow. While you're cutting, just go. And that'll help keep some of the fumes out of your eyes. So I'm putting the onions in. I'm going to put everything, I'm going to stack everything up on my large cutting board, and then I'll be able to just grab it easily. So I'll put those over there, and we'll do the next vegetable. Next, tomatoes, also finely chopped. And I washed everything, by the way, before I started videotaping. Okay. So let's cut these up. I'm going to do them in a similar way to the onion. But you got to cut that out. And I don't like the little stem. It's not a big deal, but you know, I don't like it. Okay. So for this, again, if your knife isn't that sharp, you better be careful, because sometimes, you know, it'll slip, cut you. You don't want to get cut. So we're going to do thin slices. Well, this is more like 1/4 of an inch, and that's fine. We're making a stew. It's going to get cooked. Okay, so then what I do is I take half of them and put them this way, and the other half and put them this way. This is just my little way to do this. Cut this way. And then this way. Looks like my knife does need some sharpening. Okay, and I'll just do that with the rest of them. Got my tomatoes right behind me. Now I just need a cup of kale. So I just grabbed a couple of leaves, and I've washed this too. So I'll just remove the kale from the stem, because this stem is too tough. You don't want to eat that. So I've just cut it in half. And it looks like I'm going to probably have a couple of cups, but you know what? I'm going to put it in. Why not? In fact, one leaf is going to be enough. Well, maybe I will put the other one back. That is more than a cup, I'm sure. Okay, so that's that. Next, a jalapeno. I need to cut off the stem. And you know what? That end is just fine. You might want to oil your fingers, because handling this stuff can burn your hands. I've got this technique that I've been using where I have this small spoon and I just scrape this inside out so I'm not touching it. That part is the hot part. Okay, I got all the seeds and membrane out of there. I'm gonna go throw that out. And I'll use my knife to scrape it into the food waste. Okay, so now we just want to cut little strips. And then just cut them like this into some little chunks. Okay, and now we need to chop up our cilantro, which has already been washed. So I don't want a lot of stem. Actually, I don't like this, but I'll just go with it. Sometimes I pinch these off so I don't chop up this part, but okay, that's kind of big. So I do this. I guess for the rest of them, I'll just leave it. I know people who just, you know, don't even try to avoid the stem. They just throw it all together. I just need a couple of tablespoons so I can see that I'm going to have more of that than I need too. Whatever. This is good stuff. So I'm just going to chop it. It doesn't have to be small. Okay. Just for the heck of it, I'll do some of this. Yeah, this is twice as much as I need, but I'm going to use it. Okay, there's that. Okay, now I'm going to do the cauliflower. As you can see, I've removed the big leaves and I washed it. So it's kind of hard to get in there. What you want to do is carefully put a sharp knife down in here and then try to, well, maybe make a couple of stabs. Because I'm trying to break it off of the stem. Just be sure you don't cut yourself. There you go. And these little bits, I'll just throw in. Remove the rest of these. And I'm going to be trying to cut them away from the stem. Just like that. Make a stab, push the knife out. There you go. And break them into florets, bite-sized pieces. Some people don't want, you know, this part. I don't mind. It's stem, but I will cut it into a smaller chunk. So, let's see. Sometimes you can do that. Okay, so you want to just, however you can break or cut these, well, sometimes it's easier than others. Get the easiest part, and the more you remove, the easier it'll be to get, you know, everything off. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this and not make you watch. Okay, I went ahead and ground my sea salt since I had to grind it. So it's ready. And I think the only thing I have left to prepare is my ginger. These little things, this is a ginger grating plate. And these things are kind of sharp. I don't really want to scrape my knuckles. So I think once I remove the skin, I'm going to use my safety glove. All right, so to remove the skin, you're just going to scrape it like this. Comes right off. And the bottom, or where it's been cut, is probably going to be dried and not good, so I'm just going to cut that away. And it's a little hard to get around the knobs. I need 2 teaspoons full, so that's probably going to be pretty much this whole knob. Let's see if that'll give me 2 tablespoons without using all of it. Teaspoons, not tablespoons. Okay, so we're just going to do this. All right, let's see how much I have now. I think this is going to do it. That looks like a couple of teaspoons full. Okay, we'll stop with that. Okay. All right, I think I'm ready. So let me show you what I've got. Here's all my cut up vegetables ready to go. And I kept them separate. It's just because that's handy. All right, here is my Dutch oven. Start off by putting 2 tablespoons of coconut oil in there and warm that up. It's been kind of cold lately, so it's solid. So I'll just have to dig it out. There's one. Get out, get out, get out. And there's another one. Okay. Someday people won't use gas stoves anymore. And that's kind of sad. I really love using my gas stove. So I'm going to heat it up until it's melted on medium. It says heat it for 30 seconds, but it won't be melted in 30 seconds. Oh, and here's a cool thing. Coconut oil, you know, is also very good for your skin. So, you know, if your hands are dry in the kitchen, rub some coconut oil on them. Feels good. Okay. So the whole cumin seeds, we're going to put right in there, a teaspoon of them, and cook that a little bit. The reason that I wanted to get everything cut up ahead of time is this soup doesn't take long to cook. So I wanted to have everything ready before I got started. Okay, so this is almost melted. Let it get a little hot. Oh, I know. While I'm waiting for that, I'm going to go ahead and get the onions. Here, I'll show you what I'm going to do. See the onions? I'm going to get my little chopping board and just get the onions over here, because I'm going to need that soon. Come back here. Onion. Okay, now I'm ready. Okay, back to the oil. And I'm going to put those seeds in there until they start to sputter. A teaspoon. And I can hear them starting to sizzle. They're sizzling. They're not sputtering. Ah, there you go. You hear that? That's sputtering. All right. So when that happens, it's almost like popcorn. We're going to put in the onions. Okay, we're just going to cook that for a minute or two. And I'm going to need the tomatoes next, so I'm going to put those on the same chopping board. Actually, I'm not, because it's kind of big. Okay, just a minute. Now, I'm going to add those tomatoes. Okay. Stir that out. Okay. So now we're going to cook it for a few minutes until the tomatoes soften. And I'm going to put the lid on it for that. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes because remember, when you're given a time, how long you wait for something, that's really kind of a suggestion. What you want to do is cook until it's done the way it's supposed to be. It said until the tomatoes were soft, and I guess I didn't cut them small enough for it to take just a few minutes. Another thing to keep in mind is the smaller you cut things, the faster they're going to cook. So I think this is good enough for now. So now I just add the rest of the ingredients. So here's the coconut milk. I used to be able to get this at such a good deal at the Asian markets because not many people bought this kind of coconut milk. Now I think it's more popular and it's more expensive. Anyway, here's the coconut milk. Here's the ginger. And then, let's see, here's my salt. And now I'll put in, here's the kale. And flip this around. There's the jalapeno and the cilantro. Put everything in there. And the cauliflower. And spices. Let's see. Stir that up a little bit. All right, let's just get these spices. So I want a teaspoon of turmeric. This ends up being a kind of a yellow, no, it is a yellow stew. It's because of this. Very healthy stuff. Then we're going to put a tablespoon of coriander. And a tablespoon of ground cumin. I think this is why we like this dish so much, because we're big fans of cumin. All right, is that everything? Let me check. Tomatoes, cauliflower. Yep, that's it. All right, stir that up a bit. And I know there's not a lot of liquid in there, but once those vegetables cook, they'll make more. So, put the lid on, and we're gonna cook it for 15 minutes, and then we'll check on that. It's been cooking for about 5 minutes. I'm just gonna stir it every 5 minutes so it doesn't stick to the bottom. And it's already getting more juicy. So I'll let it go another 5 minutes and stir it again. It's been 15 minutes and I think it's done. Let's check. Ta-da! Looks delicious. Looks like everything's done. That was easy.